friends. Welcome to another Godly Play. I'm so glad that you're here with us today. Let's make sure that before we go in, we are ready to learn. We are ready to listen, and our bodies are ready to be still for just a little bit. Let's take a deep breath and get settled on our mats or in our chair or wherever we're doing our wondering and our work today. And when you're ready, we'll head over to the circle of the church here. Ready? Let's go. Friends, let's start by changing the circle of the church year. And if you have your church circle at home, you can do this with me. We're just going to move the arrow ahead one. We're still in that great green growing season. Let's turn it over to Teacher Andrea. Get ready to hear our story.
Welcome back, friends. I'm happy to be here with you today to learn about another story amongst our many Godly Play stories. This is a special story today. It's one that you've probably heard before or maybe seen a version of it before. It has to do with communion. And if you don't know what communion is, that's okay. You'll learn a little bit about it in this story. But maybe you've taken communion upstairs in our big sanctuary where all of our families and adults worship together. It will look familiar. As Methodists, sometimes we take communion the first of every month, or sometimes we take it more often. But either way, it's such a wonderful tradition, and I hope you enjoy hearing this story today. So if you are ready, watch where I find this story. Keep watching. There's more to bring. This is big work. There was once someone who did such wonderful things and said such amazing things that people wondered who he was. They finally just had to ask him. And once, when they asked him who he was, he said, "I am the Good Shepherd. I know each one of my sheep by name. And they know the sound of my voice." When I take the sheep from the sheepfold, they follow me. I show them the way to the good green grass. This is the table of the Good Shepherd. Here is the bread and the wine of the Good Shepherd. Sometimes it seems like we need to have a little statue or something on the table to remind us that this is the table of the Good Shepherd. But the Good Shepherd is in the bread and the wine, so we really don't need anything else to remind us. Sometimes someone comes to read the words of the Good Shepherd and to give us the bread and the wine. Sometimes the people of the world come to this table. And even the children come. I wonder if you have ever come close to the table of the Good Shepherd. I wonder where this table could really be. I wonder if you have ever tasted the bread and drank the wine of the Good Shepherd. I wonder who the Good Shepherd could really be. and where this whole place could really be. Well, that concludes our story for today. As I put away our story of the Good Shepherd and the World Communion, I want you to think about what your work is going to be today. Maybe you'll want to create something that tells more about this story. Or maybe you'll want to work on something that you've already been working on. Only you know what's right for you. In a few minutes, Pastor Lieve is going to tell us a little bit more about how we can celebrate communion at home with your family. Since we can't all be together at church, we can still celebrate communion at home, though. Look at all these people who are celebrating communion. You can do it too. Here's the bread and the wine of the Good Shepherd. And the table of the Good Shepherd. And the sheepfold. I'm going to put this work away, and it's time for you to get out your work. And stay tuned for Pastor Lieve's instructions on how you can do communion at home. We'll see you soon.
All right. Hey friends, I'm here with Isla and Ziggy, and today we are going to be making some
Communion biscuits.
communion biscuits. That's right. We're celebrating communion, and we're not going to make bread exactly today. We're going to make biscuits. It's a little unorthodox, but we're going to have fun doing it. So at home, you should have a box of biscuit mix or a little bag of biscuit mix. You're either going to be mixing in water or milk alternative if you're lactose intolerant. So just check the instructions to see if you're adding milk like ours or just water. Super easy. Other things that we've collected, guys. What else have we got here?
A
Spoon for stirring,
It's a big
measuring cups, a big bowl for mixing, and a cookie tray we're gonna bake on top of our tray. Yep. All right. Okay, so we're gonna mix up our ingredients, and you can do the same. Don't forget to wash your hands first and preheat your oven. So look at your instructions.
This is
Preheat
sorta
your
like-
oven. So this is sort of like what?
like a video instruction how to make biscuits.
Yes, luckily it's very easy. All you have to do is stir the biscuit mix and the milk or the water together. That's all you have to do. And then you plop your biscuits on your tray. Now, I'm not gonna ask us to make this whole box of biscuits. That would be so many biscuits. That'd be 26 biscuits they tell us. So we're just gonna make a couple of them, okay? We're gonna do 2 cups of biscuit mix with 3/4 cups of milk.
Can I have some biscuit mix?
Yes, you
Me
can.
too.
All right, so we'll be back in just a bit to show you what we made. Instructions tell us to use a tablespoon to scoop blobs of biscuits onto the tray. I made really big blobs because I'm hoping I can make something big enough for us to break and share with one another. This could be a huge disaster, but we're gonna do a little experiment. So we're gonna pop this into the oven at 400 degrees and we'll check back in 10 minutes, hopefully with some communion bread that's ready to eat. All right, well, our biscuits came out just fine, even though they were bigger than what the box told us to do. And so we've picked the prettiest one and we've poured our grape juice into this glass and we're ready for communion. So maybe you've already watched worship service from this Sunday. It's a communion Sunday. If you haven't, you can use the grape juice and the biscuit that you made to have communion with your family at home. But if you've already watched service and you want to celebrate communion with your family, let's tell the story. Let's tell the story. We remember that on the night that he was betrayed, Jesus gathered with his disciples in an upper room. He took a loaf of bread, he blessed it, he broke it, he gave it to them to eat, saying, "Take and eat, this is my body, which is for you. Eat this bread in remembrance of me." And in like fashion, after the meal, he took the cup. He poured it out, he gave it to them to drink, saying, "This is the blood of the new covenant. Drink of it, all of you, in remembrance of me." I hope that you have a wonderful time baking with your family and enjoying your communion bread and your grape juice. We are so grateful that we get to do Godly Play with you, and so grateful that Jesus loves us so much and gave us this meal to remember him and to celebrate his life, his death, and his resurrection. All right, we'll talk to you soon. Bye, kiddos.
Bye.
Okay, I hope that you enjoyed learning more today about World Communion. And I hope you got the chance to celebrate with your families and enjoy the bread and the grape juice that we use here in our church as part of our tradition. I wish you all a wonderful, wonderful week filled with joy. And remember to be kind and patient and loving with each other. We'll see you guys soon for another story. Have a wonderful week. Bye-bye.